Oh, it's good that Kel'el Ware had a good day. Because I made this list, I put all the guys on the list, and then, you make the list on Saturday, and there still are games Sunday. Kel'el Ware got 20 points today. Thank God. I think he got 16 rebounds, too. Are the Heat good? I was talking so much guff about the Heat. I have no idea what I'm talking about because the Heat are a good basketball team. Watching them today, I thought the Sixers might win. Sixers had Paul George. Paul George, oh my gosh, dude. Paul George, 0 for 5 from 3. Who made Andre Drummond made more threes today than Paul George. This ain't about Paul George, it's about Kel'el Ware. So Kel'el Ware, I think Tim McMahon saying, or no, it was Dave Jacoby say that he talked to the Heat assistant coaches about why they weren't playing Kel'el Ware that much at the beginning of the season and then even last year a bit. Dude, he is a part of the system now. And again, though, I have heard Kel'el does not want to play center. Just like every center in the league, they don't like doing the dirty work. They don't like to bang. Which sort of goes to show, because, he does shoot a lot of threes. And he's a really good shooter. What's he shooting? 35%. I didn't check how many threes he shot today. 35% as a big man shooting 2.5 threes. That's fine. You'll take that. Especially 10 rebounds a game in 24 minutes a game. Dude, Kel'el Ware. And he even, when he's playing against Wemby, they look... he definitely looks like Wemby's younger bro, but they look competitive. Wemby does not look as tall next to Kel'el Ware. And they do have very similar games. So, 96th percentile in block percentages. Now, let me break down the advanced stats for you. I know all this math stuff, these advanced stats stuff. I went to college. I took 2 math classes. 96 percentile means just he has the 90s. He's in the upper 4% of block percentage. What's block percentage? Block percentage is how many of the blocks you get while you're on the court. That's it. How many of them went to you? So, 96, he's doing really well on defense. And he's scoring 11 points a game in very few minutes. So I think our man's Kel'el Ware needs more time on the court. And he is. He's getting more time. I forget how many minutes he played today, but he played quite a bit. Can't pass out of a double team. That's his fatal flaw. From what I've noticed. And other people on the internet have noticed too. I did my research. I didn't grind tape all day. Should we move on? Now, Ryan Kalkbrenner, not cock. I'm going to get this video flagged because I said a swear word within the first 10 minutes. What are you going to do? I tried to edit my swear words out last week and I couldn't find them. I need to be able to recognize the F word, the S word in a sound wave, but I can't figure it out. So Ryan Kalkbrenner, he has the best field goal percentage in the NBA, and it's not even close. 80%. I think the next is Rudy Gobert at like 71%. So he's tall. He's very tall. I think he might be 7'2". Here's the only problem with him. Great shot blocker. He's up there, man. We're getting, Wemby is tall, but you get these guys next to him, and it's not as drastic. It's not like Bam Adebayo at 6'9", guarding Wemby. So, Kalkbrenner is really good. He's 5th in blocks per game right now, and he's only playing 25 minutes a game. He's starting games, but there's another guy on this list. There's a lot of centers on this list. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. The reason there's a lot of centers on this list is I was looking at PER, which heavily favors centers. But it's not all centers, but there's a lot. But he's playing great. The only problem with a lot of these guys is Ryan Kalkbrenner, I've got cock on the brain. He's in the 99th percentile of block percentage, of cock percentage. He's in the 99th percentile. He is the best shot blocker in the NBA per minute, is what I'm trying to say. Here's the only problem with him, and there's a lot of guys on this list that this is also a problem. He's slow, and he really has no range away from the basket. It's really, he's got those necessary skills of being a rim protector, getting rebounds, doing the dirty work, but that's just sort of all he does. So should he have more minutes? Really, the Hornets just need another look, because they have another guy that's very similar to Kalkbrenner, and we're going to talk about him real soon. But nevertheless, my man's Rai deserves more minutes. But what do you guys think? Tell me, and I reply in all those comments. Unless you say something that gets filtered out by the YouTube algorithm, and then it goes into show hidden comments, and I don't always check those. So don't say anything nasty, or don't have a dirty username, and I'll reply to your comment. So Donovan Clingan, very similar to Kalkbrenner. You know what's crazy to me? I was watching highlights of Donovan Clingan. So he had a 22-point game, 10-rebound game against Golden State. I forget when it was. And I put a little note there to say, tall. Donovan Clingan was manhandling everyone on the Warriors. He was way taller. Donovan Clingan is over 7 feet tall. He's huge. I had forgot about that. So he's competing for minutes with Robert Williams, who we used to call Time Lord, but then we stopped. Coolest name in the NBA, best nickname in the NBA, all of a sudden we just stopped calling him Time Lord. I'm bringing that back. So he's competing for minutes with Time Lord, and he is winning. He's starting, but the problem with him, and the same thing with Kalkbrenner, is they're slow and they get tired easy, and you can see it out on the floor. But they are huge. So in that Golden State Warriors game, Donovan Clingan was getting everything. I mean, it was him and Draymond Green out there. I don't even remember if Horford was out there. So something to think about is Golden State might want to pick up one of these guys just to have a different look. Because, Quentin Post isn't it. Al Horford's not it. So you might want these big lumbering centers that can block shots and get rebounds. 25 minutes a game. 10 points a game. 10 rebounds a game. Averaging a double-double. We're not talking about them enough. I love my Trailblazers. I'm going to watch them later. I think the game's on right now. OKC in Portland. You know what's funny, though? I'm rooting for OKC because the video that comes out tomorrow is about how good OKC is. And if I'm going to post a video that OKC might be too good for the NBA, I don't want them to lose the night before. So I love you, Clingan. I love you, Portland, but I hope you lose tonight. And you probably will because it's the Oklahoma City Thunder. But Golden State, I think they should make a trade for one of these guys. Could be Clingan. But, Portland's not going to give up Clingan. They'll give up Robert Williams. But who wants Robert Williams? Gets injured too much. Go Bitadze. I think he's from Georgia. I don't know why I gave it an Italian accent. But he's from Georgia, not the state, the country. Former Soviet Union. And he's very effective. The minutes he's on the floor, he's not getting enough time. I feel like whenever I watch a Magic game, he's always on the court doing something cool. But at the same time, he's competing for minutes with Angel Reese's boyfriend, Wendell Carter Jr. When I was looking up, doing research for this video, he did an interview about his relationship with Angel Reese. I'm like, no. Didn't we learn this from Klay Thompson? Keep it private. No one needs to know about I'm looking at the clock to see if I can say the P word, but it might just be better to not say it at all. Anyway. But Bitadze needs more minutes. 6.2 points. This guy is a pick and roll master. He's better than Wendell Carter Jr. at the pick and roll. He's better at blocking shots. Granted, Wendell Carter Jr. is a better offensive player. He's got more range. He's got more versatility. But what are they going to do? Should they trade Bitadze? Because at this point in time, I think he's earned more minutes. He's a slept-on help defender as well. He's taller than Wendell Carter Jr. Let's look at his counting stats. I mean, 5 rebounds in 16 minutes. Free throw percentage, better than Wendell Carter Jr.'s, I believe. And he shoots threes. He'll shoot a 3 if you leave him open. I like him. I think we need to see more from him. Now, Moussa Diabate. He's the one, it's sort of center by committee down in Charlotte. He's like, is it going to be Kalkbrenner? Is it going to be Diabate? Both guys offer something different. Neither guy has a mid-range shot. Neither guy will shoot a three-pointer either. Neither are a stretch big. Moussa Diabate is shorter, but he's a lot faster. And Moussa Diabate can dribble the ball. He's not going to shoot a 3, but he can drive it. And he's bigger than he's listed. I think he's listed at like 6'10", but this guy has size. And he can get to the hoop. So he's gaining a lot of confidence. This is like, he was on I forget where he came from. But he's been a G Leaguer for a while. And this season, the Hornets are really giving him some minutes. I'm concerned about the Hornets. I feel like they're doing well at the mini games of the NBA. Like, they drafted Brandon Miller, and he ended up being a good draft pick. So they sort of, Hornets fans said, yeah, we won the mini game of selecting a good draft pick. Yeah, what a good one, you know. And then it's like, and then now it goes on. He's not playing well. It's like, well, we did win the mini game because he had a good rookie season. And then you have a guy like Moussa Diabate. Hey, he's playing well. Then you have Kalkbrenner, best field goal percentage of the league. So you're winning these mini games, but then you're looking at your record and you're like, I know we're winning the mini games, but the mini games are ultimately just a means to winning the actual game, which is literally winning a game. And they're just getting destroyed. On the bright side, the mini game of selecting a good draft pick this year, Conversely is great. I mean, he's the leader of that team. Miles Bridges is leading that team in scoring. Then it's Conversely. So, Hornets fans, you got Moussa. Moussa, 6th. He's 6th in total loose balls recovered. He's a hustler. That's 6th in total, 23 minutes a game. Another mini game for y'all, Hornets fans. Congrats. All right, more the same type of dudes. So, Neemias Queta is obviously faster than like a Kalkbrenner or a Clingan. He's more of a Diabate type, I would say. Can't get to the free throw line. He's pretty much useless. He's never going to shoot a 3. Great field goal percentage, but another guy that just, doesn't have a whole lot of range. But he is getting points. Great lob spot guy. One of the best screen assists in the league. He's racking up a lot of screen assists. He's strong. He can dominate a lot of other centers. I think when I was doing research, I noticed it was him versus Sarr. He made Sarr look really small. And I thought, he's kind of the opposite of Sarr. Neemias is aggressive. All over the boards. Blocks a lot of shots. Defensive athlete type. And he's good. He needs work. He deserves more minutes. But Alex Sarr is the opposite of him, right? Because Alex Sarr has more basketball skill. He's one of the, I feel like, what are we going to call it? There's the center that can spread the floor, that can pass, that can dribble a bit, high IQ, sort of like an Alex Sarr type. And then we got the centers that are like the Rudy Goberts, the bruisers, who are just strong guys. I mean, even the thing is, I want to say have good hands and have good footwork, but I don't think that describes Rudy. Okay, so we have the guys with good hands, good footwork, good playmakers, can shoot a three. And then we have the thing was Embiid was both. Embiid could do it all. When Embiid was Embiid, even his player efficiency rating is still really high because he's not playing a lot, but he's still incredible. So what do we call these? Like, there's like the Sabonis's, the Jokic's of the world, the Alex Sars of the world, the Naz Reids of the world, and then we got our Rudy Gobert's, our Neemias Queta's, kind of Ivica Zubac types. What do we call those two? Those are like the two center archetypes. Basically defensive and offensive. So Neemias he's also competing with Luke Garza, and Luke Garza, you know, a little of both, hustle guy. It's a big year for Boston role players trying to earn their spot, because I don't know what's going to be up with that team next year. Isaiah Joe, it's about time we got a player that is not a center. So I could say this about a lot of the Oklahoma City players. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of the Oklahoma City players aren't getting enough minutes because the team is too deep. I think a lot of these players, I want them to get traded just so that they can have proper roles on their respective teams. Okay? Because Isaiah Joe, I think, could be starting shooting guard for a lot of teams in the league. What's crazy, though, is he was in Philly. He was a second-round pick, I believe, in Philly, maybe another team, before he got to OKC. And Philly didn't like him. They were ready. They moved on. They didn't care. But when he got to OKC, like, bro is in the 50-40-90 club right now. He might make the 50-40-90 club. He is, 90% from the free throw line, 41% from three, and his field goals are 44%. Now, Joe can also dribble as well. He's not necessarily a spot-up guy. He's shooting 7.8 threes a game. And he plays really well with Shea. I feel like Shea sort of defers to him when Isaiah Joe is on the court. Now, there's another guy on this list, very, very similar position as Isaiah Joe. But he's like kind of the opposite. He might be next on the list. Because Isaiah Joe he's not a great defender. He's small, he's skinny, and he's not particularly great when he's guarding the guy on the ball. He can't have it all, right? But it's getting better. His offensive rating is 1.8, or his offensive box plus minus. He's putting out a point in, 1.8 more points with his offensive value. Caruso, on the other hand, negative value on offense. Why would I bring this up? Am I ready to move to the next slide? Before, I don't know if I mentioned it, but 14.2 points a game on 25 minutes. They basically bring him in just to bomb threes, and he makes them. So here's where it all is going to make sense. Caruso. Okay. The other shooting guard for Oklahoma City. Well, they have a lot of shooting guards. But man, him and Isaiah Joe are competing for minutes. It's sort of an embarrassment of riches, isn't it? You have so many guys on that team competing for minutes that there are guys that hardly break a sweat every night thinking, man, I feel like I'm squandering my talents under a bushel basket. So OKC can go, hey, we want somebody to foul the shit out of the other team and play really hard defense. Put in Caruso. Maybe they have a player, put him on the best player. Or if it's a team that maybe doesn't necessarily have one particular incredible offensive player and they have a weak second unit, bring in Isaiah Joe. Get him bombing those threes. So they kind of have the best of both worlds. And, Caruso ain't no slouch from three either. He's shooting basically 35% from three. He's just not scoring that many points. So Caruso is really more of a playoff guy. And I'm always curious how players in Oklahoma City feel about their roles because they're lesser than they could be on other teams. Is the vibe so cool and chill in Oklahoma City that they don't even care? Are they just like, hey, bro, I'm winning. I'm winning games. I got a ring. I might get another ring this year. So I'm kind of curious what the vibe is. Also, Caruso has the best defensive rating on the Thunder. So probably one of the best defensive ratings in the league. So Isaiah Joe, you kind of lose points on defense with Isaiah Joe. And Caruso, you kind of gain points from your defense. The thing is, who has the better, when it all shakes out, Alex Caruso is more effective, which I found really interesting because he's averaging significantly less points than Isaiah Joe. I guess defense really does win championships. Somebody hire Nico Harrison. Does that guy get a job? I was thinking about that. I think Bill Simmons was talking about that. He was saying he'll probably get hired by some, like the Kobe Foundation or something like that. He'll get a job with some charity. Some fake job. Isn't that sad? Some fake job. Some seat on the board somewhere. Because how do you... Maybe I've talked about this before. Maybe I should move on. But I just don't know how you get another basketball general managing, team building, vice president of basketball operations role after that. And I'm not even a big Nico Harrison hater. I was an apologist of Nico Harrison. I just don't know how you find another job after that because the common consensus is you're the biggest bonehead of all time. Now, I'll keep it real with y'all. I was not familiar with Josh Okogie's game. All right, so similar sort of to Isaiah Joe in a sense, okay? Bigger, way better on defense. He's like a supersized Isaiah Joe. So Okogie has the ability to move quick. He would do well as a pacer, Okogie would, because he flies down the court. That's sort of his thing. He is not a playmaker. He is not a passer. That's not what he does. But shooting threes a game in 20 minutes, and he's shooting 42% from three. Really awesome job, Josh Okogie. So he signed a 1-year deal, I believe, in Houston. He got traded to Charlotte, I think, from Phoenix last year. He might have been in that weird, trade. I don't know what trade he was in, but he's been passed around because I think he started in Minnesota. And I think he sort of found his role here in Houston. Did you know, I put it on the slide, he is the only shooting guard listed for the Houston Rockets. Isn't that kind of interesting? Because I was wondering, I'm like, who's taking his minutes? Nobody. A person playing a different position. It's going to be interesting when Finney Smith comes back with this team. That'll be kind of fascinating how he's going to fit in. Because this is a good team too. But Okogie looks really nice out there. And I'm happy for him because he hasn't been getting consistent minutes his whole career. Is that it? Does he shoot and his free throws are good? I like him because his free throws are good. 1.4 steals a game is really good. I should have looked into his steals per 36. I bet it's pretty high. But look out, Okogie will be a free agent next year. So let's see what happens for him. B-Ball Paul. Okay, do you remember when Sixers fans were crazy about B-Ball Paul? He was like beloved in Philadelphia. Everyone loved him. They'd always cheer for him. He was sort of the Bobby Portis, Naz Reid of Philadelphia. They glazed him all the time. Another guy, I think he is undrafted, but he's a hardworking dude, and they loved him. And then I remember they either didn't bring him back and he signed in Detroit, or they traded him to Detroit. I think they just straight up let him walk, and he signed in Detroit. But this guy, having a great season. I wonder how he feels about when he plays the Sixers. I wonder how Sixers fans felt about him being traded. Because he's efficient, man. His field goal percentage is 68%, and he has shot a couple threes. I actually think the only game that he shot threes was the game that they played the Bulls. Because he had 28 points. And Vooch kept leaving him open. And that was the problem. Because Vooch was letting him shoot. So, oh, and right here, I think I have see? I have the gift. Look how much space Vooch is giving him. And there was like 3 or 4. I should just looked up how many three-pointers he made that game. But Vooch was saying, yeah, I dare you to shoot it. And he was just swishing it, dude. Dang, man. So most of the threes he shot, I believe, were in that game. But great rebound percentage. He's getting offensive rebounds too. He's a hustle guy. He's top 10 in deflections per 36. Sixers fans, what were you thinking? Actually, Sixers are doing fine. What do you think? I think Andre Drummond's fine. I think he's doing well. You know, Sixers have a lot of players on their team, but they could have used another center that can shoot a three. Anyway, it's in the past. Paul Reed's good. That's my point. All right, top of the list. Sandro Mamukelashvili. Nailed it first time. It's funny. This is probably the best season of his career. I think what did he have? He had like a 38-point game last year. He had such a great game that he summoned Flava Flav from the dead. I'm just kidding. They're friends though. That's the weird thing. But Mamu, I think, is sort of the quintessential softy. I think you got hard centers and you got soft centers. I think that's really what it is. Mamu is a soft center. He is a skilled basketball player. He is a skilled dribbler. He has like Isaiah Joe level dribbling ability. He's good. And he can shoot. Really great three-point shooter. 44% from three. And he does deserve more minutes. He's great. But when we look at his rebounds, it's like, okay, you're a center getting 3.7 rebounds a game. And you're kind of, he's got good footwork. He can do some playmaking. But when you got a center out there, these soft centers, these Nas Reeds, even, Bobby Portis to a degree, Sabonis, you got to get a guy in there that can block the easy stuff. And it's not Mamu. So something I was considering is, do they play Sandro and Mamu together? Would that work? Can you just play Mamu as a 4 and see how that goes? It is also funny how Pirtle is one of the best centers in the league. And how that guy, I feel like if you're a 7-footer that can just stay healthy with good hands, you just exist in the league forever. Even my man Mason Plumlee. Think about, everyone likes to say he's the worst player in the league. Not everyone, but I heard someone say that recently, and I didn't like it. But if you're huge, you got good hands, you got experience, and for some reason your knees, your ligaments are all good, you're just going to be in the league. So, Mamu, we love him because he's an incredibly gifted basketball player, but he doesn't have we'll call him hard skills. He's just not that physical. Can he figure that out? I don't know. But he is also in the middle of the pack of the defenders on the Raptors. I was sort of expecting to look at the defensive box plus minus stats of all the Raptors and him to be at the very bottom. It's right there in the middle. So, I don't know. But I think Mamu definitely deserves more minutes. And I think all these guys kind of do. And a lot of them, I think there are a lot of teams that could use a hard center and a lot of teams that could use a soft center. Part of me even thinks with Valanciunas, who I do like, I'm a Nuggets fan, and I'm into it, but we kind of have two soft centers. we have the softest center of all, but then to mix it up, our backup is another sort of pick and roll, a little bit of mid-range, dribbles a little bit, not excellent defender, Valanciunas. Maybe we could grab Moussa Diabate, pretty cheap. I don't know. Well, that's the show. Thank you so much for being here. There is a Patreon. You know the drill. You get a weekly podcast. $2 a month, but you get a podcast every week. I feel like it's one of those things where a lot of Patreons, they want to charge $5 a month, but I will tell you, it's worth $2. The podcast would not be worth $5 a month. There's just too much good content out in the world for me to feel good about charging $5 a month for just a podcast. That's how I feel about it. But $2 I think is totally fair. I think that's it. Like the video, subscribe, whatever. But be good to your moms. Eat a corn dog.